If I were you, I would have chosen this workshop too. Welcome to the Yoga Festival for Mental Health and to this intriguing workshop with Polly Price, Bouncing Back from Burnout. Burnout is affecting more and more of us worldwide, and even more so with the concept of working from home. The time we spend in front of the computer has come up in the last 1 year as kind of countering the travel time, which is not there. So this workshop will be led by Polly Price. Polly is from the UK and he is from the corporate world, landing from the C-suite on the yoga mat. He has a compelling and transformative story to tell, and we can all learn from his example. Please welcome Polly.
Hi, everybody. I've got a very unusual thing going on with my headset right now, so apologies for a little bit of a full start. So can I have a thumbs up to see if you can hear me right now? Great, fantastic. That's good news. So thank you, Vicky, for that welcome. Really, really happy. It's good to see that you're glowing. Actually, I know how much work that Vicky and her team have done to put on this amazing event today. It's really, truly fantastic, and huge gratitude.
Polly, you have muted yourself.
So you can hear me now? Good, sorry about that. Technology, hey. I think they say avoid working with children and animals, and technology, I think, is the third one to add to that. So yeah, thank you very much for inviting me along today. Absolutely honoured to be part of this this day about mental health, yoga for mental health. Really pleased to be able to share my journey with you and share the learning experiences that I've had with stress, anxiety, and the impact of that on my life. So this time last year, as introduced, I was C-suite. I was at pretty senior level in a big company, and as you'd expect, it was a pretty high pressure job. And but on the 17th of July of last year, so less than a year ago, what then happened really caught me by huge surprise. I woke up one day and it was like I'd been in a car crash. And I sustained a brain injury. I woke up, I was disorientated, I could barely breathe, I was nauseous, I was if somebody spoke to me, I couldn't process what they were saying, and when I tried to speak, I was slurring. My cognitive function had completely closed down. I tried to concentrate on something, I'd fall asleep. It was the most scariest thing that had happened to me and my loved ones around me. And it was a kind of terrifying moment. And I was in a really, really bad way. So bouncing back from burnout is that story. And what I've learned from in bringing yoga into my life, and how yoga has actually saved my life and also led a transformation that has been quite remarkable. So in this workshop, I'll be sharing that journey with you. I want to help you understand a little bit more around what's going on with you and stress, because we live with stress every single day of our lives. It is all around us. And this last year, goes without saying, our lives have been turned upside down and inside out. So more now than ever, a conference like this, an event like this is so important. But I really want you to help you understand what's going on in your body and your mind, of course, because it's intrinsically linked, but also what part the nervous system plays on all of that and the impact on you, and how you can learn how to manage and control your nervous system through the miracle that is our breath. And why is it a miracle? It's a miracle because we have it. Every one of us has it. We all share it, regardless of age, of ability, of whatever demographic we like to pigeonhole ourselves in. We all share the power of our breath, and we can learn to really capture that power and then turn about controlling and managing stress and anxiety, and then the impact of that on our mental and physical health. So hands up, who here has brain fog? Brain fog, issues with your memory? What about loss of appetite? Sexual desire, loss of sexual desire, unhealthy body fat around our waist, around our hips, wherever we're holding that unhealthy body weight. What about sleep issues? Struggling with sleep, feeling tired, feeling exhausted? These are all signs and symptoms of the sort of long-term impact of stress starting to have an impact on your body and also your mind and your health and well-being. So let me just share a little bit around this journey and how yoga helped to save me. So I'm going to take you back 30 years, and I'll keep it brief because I'm sure you don't want a potted history of my whole life. But I was at the age of, 20, 21, I was pretty ambitious. I wanted to set up my own company, and I did that. I was a designer, and I set up a design agency and kind of built that company up a bit, and it was pretty successful. And there's some bad times as well. There was a business merger, and I think at one stage, part of the business went bust. And so there's a lot of kind of stuff going on there. Big pressure job, loads of deadlines, got married, had kids, all the sort of stuff that you do in your 20s and 30s. And it was kind of like pretty intense. But I was like a typical individual. I'm going to pigeonhole myself and say that typical bloke, where I kind of wore stress as a bit of a badge. I thought, you know what? Stress doesn't affect me. I'm pretty laid back person. Everybody thinks I'm pretty laid back. And I only kind of really get motivated when I actually put myself under pressure. So leaving things to the last minute, letting those deadlines kind of mount up and then really kick into gear and deliver on an amazing project or whatever it might be. So you start to see the pattern building. It's pretty intense. It's pretty stressful, but kind of burying my head in the sand and just going, do you know what? Stress doesn't bother me. And you may well be that type of person. So take notes, because it is actually having an impact on you. And I'm going to go into a lot more detail on that a little bit, what's going on with your body. So kids, obviously young kids, bringing up young kids, that's always pretty stressful. It's fantastic, the most beautiful thing in the world. You have relationship issues going on eventually in your life, and things start to kind of, you start to have all these other issues going on, and you get into your 40s and 50s, and lo and behold, you start to feel a bit tired. You start to, I don't know, maybe diabetes starts to kick in. You've got this kind of beer belly going on, or unhealthy fats in your body, and you're starting to feel like you're, this is it. You get just getting old. It's a symptom of age, right? So, this kind of goes on. It builds up in our lives, and we just kind of ignore it. We just let it happen. And how many of you are, just kind of constantly rushing after kids, or late for work, and you're getting wound up about it, and all of this is going on in our lives. And so what happened to me was, this was starting to build up. I'd completely ignored it. I was starting to feel tired, and about I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I was getting more increasingly tired, and I started to, first thing that happened was I started to snore. And you might think, don't we all snore, especially if we've had a drink? Well, yeah, maybe, but snoring actually is a very early sign of an underlying health issue going on. And actually, my underlying health issue was that I had sleep apnea. So this went undiagnosed for about a year. So I was getting more and more tired. Sleep apnea, if you want to know a little bit more about it, is basically you are suffocating yourself throughout the night. You're constantly kind of waking yourself up, but you sound like you're fast asleep. You're completely unaware of what's going on, but you wake up in the morning and you feel like you've got a hangover, even though you haven't had a drop of alcohol the night before. So coming into 2019, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, which is a good thing. And then I got bursitis of the elbow. So I was starting to see some more physical things going on. Bursitis is a very painful condition of the elbow. It's a bit like tennis elbow. And all of this time, I was just feeling tireder and tireder and tireder. I knew my performance at work was being affected. And bear in mind, I was one of 10 people leading this big company. So there's a lot of pressure in my head going on about, I know I'm not performing, I can't concentrate, my memory's going, my sleep is awful. And this was building up. And then came the 17th of July last year, when I woke up with this car crash moment, this brain injury that I sustained through the impact of stress and anxiety, because anxiety then started to kick in prior to this crash. And anxiety is horrible. So, those of you out there dealing with anxiety, again, really, really challenging. You live in this fear state. You've constantly got this knot in your stomach. Through my work, every email I was getting from my boss, I would literally have like a flood of adrenaline, like proper fear going in, because I was scared of what was going to be in this email. I mean, it's this just builds up and up and up until you have a moment like I did, when I burnt out completely through exhaustion, through stress, through anxiety. And that was my big wake up call. But then what happened? I went to the doctor. We all go to the doctor, right? And the doctor said, you need to take some time off work. So I signed off work. I want you to go to NHS Mental Health Services, and I'd like you to take these drugs, please, because that's going to really help. And I was like, drugs, not really sure about that. But I had to take them at that moment, because I was in such a bad place. And, they did actually help to kind of level me out from this huge slump that I'd got myself into. But unfortunately, NHS Mental Health Services, love them, fantastic work they do, but they just don't work at a pace that is going to help you get through such a terrible sort of impact on your life. And, I didn't have months and months to spare. I kind of wanted to figure out, how can I get better as quickly as possible? And so what did I do? I actually looked around to seek out a guru, a form of holistic healing that could help me with my problem. And, don't forget, I didn't really know what my problem was at that point. I just knew that I was very, very unwell. And I found a guru in Greece who was teaching a transformational healing methodology of yoga therapy, which involved obviously yoga and asanas, but meditation, pranayama, diet, and a huge education and awareness around what's going on with our bodies when it comes to, you know, the kind of trauma that's going on in our bodies to get ourselves into this really, really bad place, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And so I went out for a program which was 3 weeks, and that was the start of my new life. This is the start of my yogic journey, and it was the most fantastic thing that's ever happened to me. I went into it not knowing a huge amount about yoga. I mean, I had done some yoga, and, you know, funny enough, I'd actually run a couple of yoga and well-being retreats, and so I knew that it was, you know, it was good. I'd done a fair amount of meditation, and I had started to build a little bit of profile and awareness around mental health and well-being in the workplace, because that was part of my job as well as head of marketing, to help develop a well-being strategy for the business. So there's a slight irony in all of this, isn't there, that I was kind of jointly leading on well-being in the company, and yet I had gone through this huge well-being, mental health and well-being crash. And so what I learned from this period away, I learned about the trauma toxins that we hold in our body, and how yoga and breathing and meditation and you know, the connected diet and all that great stuff can help to break down those trauma toxins in your body. And these are trauma toxins that come through from your DNA. They come through from childbirth, through memories that you don't remember, that are locked away in your subconscious, locked away in your body. And then, of course, the trauma toxins that we have from our everyday life, the relationship breakdowns, the divorces, the operations that we might have, you know, all those sorts of things that happen in our life that creates this impact on us, and it's all locked away in our body. And so I learned through this yoga therapy how to start that process of breaking down and releasing those toxins that were held in my body and my mind. I also learned about my chakras, and that all my chakras were blocked, and my root chakra was, you know, obviously the key to that, you know, key to the imbalance that was in my mind and my body and my soul. And through yoga, I learned how to start that process of unblocking the chakras, working on the chakras and releasing that energy up through my body, which was quite something. And then, of course, the importance of diet and moving into a plant-based diet and taking a more Ayurvedic approach to eating, and taking that pressure off your gut. Our gut health is intrinsically linked to our mental health. And you know what, if we're putting crap into our engine and our tummy, you know, what are we doing? We're just feeding rubbish into our body. So, you know, I had a pretty good diet, but moving into a plant-based diet was another part of that transformation process, where I was just taking a lot of pressure and relief off my gut and allowing my body to process and digest food a lot easier and more effectively. I learned how to journal, and to how important it was to look inside for the answers. Now, in life, we kind of go around asking all these professional advisors about, you know, how to this, we get books on that, but actually the real key, one of the key keys is to look inside for those answers. And obviously you have to kind of do that through meditation and sit in silence and learn how to be in silence, and listen to some of the messages that are coming out into your conscious mind as you start to process all of this this rubbish that's going around in your body, and start to let it come out. And that process of kind of using journaling, looking inside and then using journaling to get it out on paper, get it out into the universe, let it out, not focus too much on it and understand what's been written, but just kind of getting it out there was again a really key part to this transformation that I was going through. Pranayama, pranayama, the breath. Wow, this has been the number one thing for me out of all of this, starting to get my head around and understand the power of our breath. And it is quite remarkable. It is transformational, and it is the key we all have to being able to get control and manage our nervous system. And I'm going to come on in a little bit to what is going on with our body and our nervous system to really help you kind of get that connection of what's going on and how you can really use your breath to really support your mental health and well-being. So I had this period of 21 days away. I went in, actually I wish I'd shared the before and after picture, because my face before was really, really unwell, really sad for me to even look at that picture. And then to see how I looked after just 21 days of focusing on my body, my mind, and my emotions through yoga, through movement, through breath work, through diet, through looking inside, through meditation, was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. I came out the other side. I had a clarity of mind and thought that I don't even remember ever having. I looked 10 years younger. I felt younger. I'd gone through a huge physical and mental challenge in those 21 days. I was breaking through a lot of the toxins and everything that was held in my body like that, and releasing it. So it was a hell of a journey, but coming out the other side was amazing. And so I trained in that transformational therapeutic yoga methodology, and have been determined to spread this message of transformation to people, because mental health is a really, really serious thing, and we all have mental health of one form or another, and we really have to look after our mental health. And so when I got back to the UK, I set about trying to understand what on earth went on, what really went on here, because I kind of accepted I had burnt out completely. I accepted that there was, it was a horrible period of my life, but I really kind of wanted to understand what really was going on with the body, and what was the impact of stress, because I knew it was stress, and how stress then led to anxiety, that then led to physical and mental ill health. And so understanding the body. So when we are under stress, we have in our body adrenal glands. Our adrenal glands are responsible for almost every cell in our body. And our adrenal glands, when we're under stress, send out our warriors. And let's use the word warrior because we do like a warrior, don't we, in yoga? But they send out these two warriors. They are adrenaline and cortisol. These two hormones are flooded into our body. And it's our fight or flight response. We all know about fight or flight, but understanding what really is going on with these hormones and the impact and imbalance that that's creating in the body, and then the ongoing impact that that's having on your long-term health and well-being, is a really important thing to kind of understand. So cortisol is a hormone that helps us get up in the morning. It naturally starts to come into our body to help us get out of bed, and it rises through the morning into the afternoon, and then when your body's in balance, it tapers off towards the afternoon, evening, as melatonin kicks in to get your body into a nice state to go to sleep, probably around 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Okay, so cortisol is a great thing when in balance, and when we're under threat, when we are running away from that dinosaur or that that lion on the prairie or whatever it is, as a species, our body's telling us is happening to us. It floods into our body, and we've got this hormone raging around. What's it doing? When we're under stress, it closes down bodily functions. So it's closing down bodily functions because they're not functions we need for fighting that lion or that dinosaur, right? So it's closing down our sex hormones. It's closing down hunger. It's closing down our ability to digest. It's closing down our memory. It's closing down our ability to learn. These are all things we don't need when we're trying to save our life, right? So why would we need them? And that's what's happening. It's suppressing these things in our body. When in balance, cortisol is helping with our blood sugar. It's helping with weight control. It's helping with our immune system, and it's helping with our mood. But of course, when it's off balance, it's doing the opposite. It's increasing blood sugar. It's reducing our ability to control weight. It's actually increasing our immune system as well. Our immune system is increased and activated because it's preparing our body for injury. And if we get injured, we want to repair quickly, right? And so this overactive immune system that we've got going on is creating a low-level inflammatory response in our body. And that inflammatory response is almost entirely the root to all illnesses. So I want you to really remember that. It's that inflammatory response that is a root to almost every illness: allergies, autoimmune diseases, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, dementia, depression, asthma, even cancer. And we're living with this in our bodies from the moment we start work life. Let's blame it on work. No, it's not just work. We have stress all around our work and personal lives. But through our early years, when we're in our 20s, we're in our 30s, we notice it, we ignore it, we don't care about it. It doesn't affect us because stress is stress is stress. And as I mentioned earlier, I was kind of like wearing it as a bit of a badge, and I was really definitely burying my head in the sand as to really what is stress anyway. Don't ignore it. It's working away as a cancer in your body. It's like a cancer in your body. And lo and behold, when you get into your 40s and 50s, that's when these issues, these physical issues, start to come out. Now, if you're in your 50s and 60s now, just look around you at your peers, people of your same age. How many of us have got diabetes? How many of us have got overactive or underactive thyroids? It's happening everywhere, isn't it? And this is as a result of us ignoring the impact of stress on our bodies and on our minds throughout our life. But the beauty is that we have it in our power to actually wrestle back that balance in our bodies, because this hormonal imbalance that it's creating is really damaging us. The overactive nature of cortisol, of adrenaline, imbalances all the other hormones in our body, and our body's just trying to adjust, and it's just wearing us out. So that's the body. Now let's understand a little bit around the nervous system and what it is that's going on with our nervous system, because essentially we've got two parts to our nervous system. We've got the sympathetic part to our nervous system, and we've got the parasympathetic side of our nervous system. The sympathetic is actually the one that keeps us out of danger. So it kind of is connected to adrenaline and cortisol. It's when in balance, the sympathetic nervous system is helping us manage our blood pressure, our heart rate, our rate of breathing, our blood sugar, and our arteries, right? So obviously, when we're out of balance, when we are pumped up with this stress state, it's creating an imbalance of higher blood pressure, higher heart rate. We're breathing faster and shorter. Our blood sugar is kind of on the increase because we need that energy, right? We need that energy to fight that dinosaur. And, so you can start to get a bit of a picture of what's going on here. On the other side, the parasympathetic nervous system is our part of this nervous system that helps conserve our bodies. It restores our bodies. It promotes growth. It repairs and builds tissues. It helps us with our sleep. It enables proper hormone function and, balances our blood pressure. And it also helps us with digestion. So we've kind of got the good and the bad, the good and the bad. And this, amazing a nervous system we have is obviously intrinsically linked to our breath. So when we inhale, we naturally activate our sympathetic nervous system. And when we exhale, we activate the parasympathetic part of the nervous system. So when in balance, it's all well and good. Think about your breath. When we're surprised or in fear, what happens? We breathe in, don't we? Short up here. And then when something lovely happens to us, I tell you that I love you, I'll give you a gift, you go, oh, that's nice. We breathe out, we relax, don't we? We kind of just do it. I mean, just amazing, isn't it? How inhale, surprise, exhale, calm, balance. And so we put a lot of emphasis on the inhale in our life, don't we? We think we need to inhale to bring in oxygen. Of course we do. But what we tend to ignore is the importance of the exhale. And arguably the exhale is more important than the inhale for numerous reasons. One being that when we inhale, obviously oxygen comes in, but only 20% of the inhale is oxygen. The rest is pretty much nitrogen. When we exhale, we release the toxins from our body. We activate this parasympathetic part of our nervous system. And, you know, we also improve our ability to absorb oxygen as well. So that exhale is so important to how our cells in our body absorbs the oxygen. And so when we're breathing like this, because we're stressed out all the time, we're rushing around, we're not giving ourselves a chance to use the exhale in a way that is going to start to help us with our nervous system and set about that rebalancing of our body. And as I mentioned, that imbalance is a route to many illnesses. And so that learning the art of and the power of your breath is the start to getting control and managing our nervous system and rebalancing our life through breath and movement. And this is what yoga offers us, that opportunity to start to work with breath and our body in order to get that balance back of our nervous systems. Excuse me, let me just take a sip of water. I hope everybody's doing okay so far with this. So let's look at some breathing examples, because what I've now become a certified breath coach out the back of all of this, because I got so interested in, you know, what is it about the breath, what is happening with the body and the nervous system, and what's happening with us hormonally. And so that helped me with my yoga practice. And you know, so my actually, before I get onto those breathing examples, I really want to talk to you a little bit around my yoga practice as well, because obviously I had this moment in my life. It was a huge impact, and I came out of 3 or 4 weeks of really intense yoga practice that helped me start my journey. It was really just the beginning of understanding a lot more about myself and giving myself the time and space to heal myself. And so my daily practice now is about an hour and a half of personal practice, which is a very simple joint clearing practice that keeps my my joints really beautifully open, and it helps to continue that process of releasing the toxins that are still in my body. We will always have toxins in our body, but it makes us much more efficient at releasing those toxins. I work with pranayama a lot, obviously breath, because that has just that learning to be able to control my nervous system has been the key to kind of moving forward and dealing with stress in my life moving forward, because we can't get away from stress, but we can control the way that we respond to stress, and then how that then impacts on our minds and our bodies. And so I have a daily practice, and obviously I teach that to people and help them on their transformational journeys. And so it's been a wonderful journey for me to go from this kind of corporate crazy corporate life to one that is a yogi. And I've only started out on this journey, but it's been the most beautiful blessing that has ever happened to me. And I've of course met wonderful people like Vicky and her team who I would never have met before. But so breath, let's look at our breath. So sitting here at the moment, I want you to just inhale fully. So just do it by yourself. But when you inhale fully, notice where on your body you can hold that breath. So just do that now. Just sit comfortably. Take a nice deep inhale and get to a point. Just note it somewhere on your chest, wherever you get to. Okay, and release that breath when you're ready. So if you're a bunch of yogis watching this, you probably know the answer to all of this anyway. But if you're new to this, then this will be new to you. And so now what I want you to do is, now we've taken that breath and we've witnessed whereabouts it kind of gets to, sit comfortably. If you're in a cross-legged position, hands on your thighs or knees, palms facing upwards. If you're on a chair, just move your back away from the back of the chair, keep your feet flat on the floor, and place your hands, palms facing upwards, on the top of your thighs, and close your eyes. Close your eyes now, and just relax your face and your jaw. Relax your shoulders and your elbows. And I want you to, I'll let you know when we're going to start doing it, but I want you to drink your breath through your nose as if it is through a straw. So it's a really slow, conscious breath. It's only through your nose. And witness and bring your awareness to your belly filling first, and then keep inhaling, and just keep going until you can't stop. So let's do it together. Eyes closed, relax. Let's inhale now through your nose, awareness on your belly as it fills. And then witness the transition into your ribs, and as your chest and your back expands, just keep drawing that breath. Get to your absolute fullness, hold it there. Maybe put your hand where you're holding your breath right now, the highest point. And when you're ready, just release that breath out. Just let it go. Okay, so if you're like most people, an untrained yogi perhaps, you will have noticed that maybe you got up to about here on that first breath. And then when you were consciously breathing, you got up to about here. I mean, you literally just kind of get it into your throat. Now, what's happening there is we're starting to use the diaphragm properly. Our diaphragm sits at the point just below our rib cage. It's kind of like a what is those things called? Say octopus. It's not an octopus. What are they called? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Squid. I don't know.
Jellyfish.
Thank you. Bless you for coming in and saving me. And then we have ancillary muscles in between our ribs that help us expand as we inhale. Intercostal muscles in our ribs. And then we have ancillary muscles in our neck that again just help us expand. And so that second breath, we're really fully using the full kind of power of our lungs. And when I'm working with people that are, suffering from chronic stress, as I was, it's amazing how tight we are in that chest area. You may notice that actually most of the time we're kind of breathing in this range, maybe 40% of our lung capacity, when we've got this whole breath that we can use. So, and we're in the chest, tight in the chest, and it goes back to that breathing, doesn't it? Our fight or flight breathing. We're breathing faster than we should be doing. Our heart rate's up. We start getting sweaty palms, sweaty armpits. We sweat, and it's no wonder we're exhausting our bodies and our minds. So I'm going to just start with what am I going to start with? I'm going to start with just a where's my breathing? Oh yes, right in front of me. So we've just done that. So we're going to do one of my favorite breathing techniques for stress, just everyday stress. We find ourselves in a stressful situation, and it's working at a rate of inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 8. So you can use this anytime, anywhere. You can be on the train, you can be just starting a meeting at work, you can be in the car. It's a great calming technique. It's very simple, and practicing it together, if you could again just get into that seated position with your feet flat on the floor, your hands facing upwards, your palms facing upwards, your back away from the chair, eyes closed, and relax your face and jaw. And again, just like we did in that first one, just kind of be aware of how the breath is coming into your body, into your belly, how you're expanding. So you're inhaling to your fullness, and then we're exhaling to a count of 8 down to 1 to our emptiness, in through our nose, out through our nose all the time. So with me now, closing your eyes, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4 to your fullness, fully expand. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your normal breath. That's good. Just keep your eyes closed. And just witness your body and your breath for a moment. So that's made me a little bit calmer. Surprising how nerve-wracking it is talking to a group of people on Zoom and live on YouTube. So that's a really great practice for helping to start a process of activating the parasympathetic nervous system. That slower exhale count really helps to start to calm and balance the nervous system. So working with chronic stress, we start to introduce sounds into the practice. So the sound is helping us to, again, use the stimulate the vagus nerve in our neck, which again helps to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system even more. So let's work with that breath that we've just done, and this time we're going to use sounds with it. So we're going to, when we exhale, we're going to make a noise similar to this. So it's so it's like a buzzing bee. It's called Bhramari breath. It's wonderful, wonderful. We start to use that vibration in our body to calm our nervous system even more. So let's do that. Three rounds of that together. So closing your eyes now. Again, relaxing your face, relax your jaw, shoulders. Let's inhale together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Drawing all the breath out. Look deep inside. Follow your breath. Inhale. And then when you're ready, exhale, making the sounds. One more time. Inhale. Beautiful. So already you can start to see how effective that is in calming yourself down even more. Now, you probably wouldn't want to do that on the train or just about to start a meeting for obvious reasons, but that's a really, really great practice that you can go and sit in your car and do. You can go into the room, you can go into the loo and do if you're feeling really chronically stressed. Now, we also bring this into yoga practice as well. So with every exhale, we're bringing the pranayama breathing techniques in with the inhale, full inhale, exhaling slowly out, and using that vibration with the movement to really have a deep and powerful effect on your body and your mind. So, and when we think about an Om, how powerful the Om is using that ability to inhale fully and then exhale using the vibrations and the sounds, the ah, the o, the as it comes up through your chakras, up through your body, finishing with that. So again, powerful technique to use. My most favorite one is to do 21 Oms. Try it today, try it after this event, try it tomorrow, 21 Oms. You don't need to pump out the Om loudly, you just need to do it nicely and gently, closing your eyes, relaxing the body is the most powerful thing you can do to really, really calm yourself down. It gets you into a beautiful, beautiful state. And then the final technique that I'd like to show you, just one second, is left nostril, right nostril breathing. It's called Nadi Shodhana. And this is a really beautiful balancing breath work that you can do. If you're familiar with it, bear with me, but we're breathing through our left and right nostril. We need to close our right nostril with our thumb, and you can get your hand into this mudra. You might need to adjust your fingers a little bit. So you're bringing your this finger, can't remember what that one's called, but that is closing your left nostril and your thumb's your right nostril. Another way of doing it, which is the way I prefer to do it, is just having my hand in front of my nose like that, and I close with my right nostril and my left. Okay, so again, get comfortable. Just this time, bring your palm of your hand in your lap, place it upwards. So I'm going to just do it using this one, so it's a bit easier for you to see. So close your eyes, close your right nostril, and just exhale. And then inhale through your left nostril, slowly, as if drinking your breath through a straw. When you reach your full breath, close your left nostril, release right, exhale right. Release all the way out. Inhale right nostril. Full expansion. Close your right nostril, exhale left. Exhale all the way out. Inhale left. Close that left nostril, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. And just come back to your normal breath for a moment. Bring your palms of your hands down onto your lap. So that is a really beautiful practice. That is my everyday practice, morning, lunch, and before bedtime. It's just amazing at balancing the left side and the right side of your brain, left side and right side of your body. You can use sounds with it, you can use vibrations with it. It's an amazing practice, and I'm very happy to share that with you. If you're struggling with sleep, which a lot of people do struggle with sleep, getting off to sleep, doing the 4-8 breath work, doing the breath work with the sounds, and finishing off with that left nostril, right nostril breathing is a wonderful way of getting the nervous system calmed down. But what we're doing there is, if you remember, we go back to the hormone cortisol. What's happening with cortisol is that rather than it trailing off in the afternoon and melatonin coming in, we've got cortisol with us into the evening and into when we're trying to get to sleep. And so that's why we have so much trouble with our sleep, because cortisol is sort of crazy around our body into the night. And so if you're like me, I was always the sort of person who'd fall asleep straight away because I'm exhausted, but then I'll wake up at 2-3 a.m. in the morning, couldn't get back to sleep, maybe drift off a bit, wake up again, cortisol all over the place. So use these breathing techniques to start to try to get the nervous system in a ready state for rest restore and digest. It's really, really powerful practice. So I'm going to just, if you have questions now, I'm going to open this up to questions. And if you want to ask me any questions about my journey with mental health, with stress and anxiety, anything around that, anything around the breath work that we've just done, anything around the whole miracle of yoga that came into my life last year and is now, 100% part of my life. So very happy to take questions. So I'll let you moderate the questions, Vicky, if they come through. I think we can either type them up, or I don't know if you want to bring people on as well. Don't be shy.
Polly is such a sweet person. So if you are not shy, you can turn on your cameras even and ask him. I think we can unmute you. Yeah. I think that option is there.
Okay, well.
I have one question, if anybody wants to answer. How it impacted your relationships, your transformation? What happened to your relationships?
Yeah, good. What a great question. Yeah, so that's obviously your family and your partner is on this journey with you, right? And I think actually the first half of that question is about what was the relationship like before, because my partner could see that I wasn't being myself, I was deteriorating, and was very worried. And so, yeah, it obviously it did have an impact on our relationship, because she was worrying herself like crazy about what was going on. She could see there was problems, but also knew that this was part of a journey. You kind of have to go through it in a way. And for me personally, I wouldn't be in the place that I am right now if I hadn't gone through that really dark point in my life. So I'm very grateful for it and for what I've learned, but it was very challenging for her. And I wasn't myself, and it wasn't that I was an unpleasant person to be around. It was just the fact I was just struggling. I was really struggling. So coming out the other side, that's been just beautiful. It's just been, for her, it's like having her original partner back from 8 years ago, or even a better version of me anyway, because I am definitely a better version of myself. I've learned so much through this journey about myself, my own levels of resilience or lack thereof, and become a lot more mindful around how to kind of move forward in life, really, and how important it is for us all to look after our mental health and physical well-being. And so we've been on this journey together, and she's a well-being chef anyway, so I've always had the good side of food, but she's doubled down on kind of learning a lot more around the Ayurvedic way of cooking as well. So she's really supported me with the diet side of things as well, and of course she's embraced that herself. So it's been a journey, and I think when you come through these things in relationships and you come out the other side, you are stronger and better for it. And I think from those immediately around me, it's kind of relief that I'm back. I'm back, and bigger, better, bolder, stronger. I don't know if they're the right words, but you know what I mean anyway.
Thank you. This was really fantastic.
Yeah. So, but I think messages to everybody. Just really don't ignore stress. Stress is the starting point. We've been living with it for way too long. It's very, very simple to learn how to manage and control your nervous system through breath. We can all do it. It's not like trying to be physically fit. You don't need to be physically fit to to just learn a few techniques around breath to start really, really starting a transformation in your life. And of course, those that aren't doing yoga right now that may be watching this, yoga is the way. I think I've just started doing yoga classes just for men, because there's such a stigma around taking up yoga for men. The perception that it's all about, sticking your foot behind your head while standing on your eyebrows or something. And of course, there is amazing athletes out there doing yoga that are hugely popular in the social media world that are really inspirational. But the reality is that 99% of the population are just nowhere near that. And so there's that kind of danger of being put off. And certainly the people that I speak to, the men particularly, are really put off by that, because they just don't feel it's achievable. So, it's kind of getting the message out there that yoga is really achievable for anybody. And, ordinary people like me just do it. And it can really make a huge difference to your life. Physically as well, I was that typical bloke that had really tight hamstrings, really tight hips, lower back issues, knee issues, all sorts of stuff going on. There's a point about 4 years ago, I remember being in the car and going to get you get the seatbelt over your shoulder. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to move around like like you imagine a 90-year-old moving. And I was like, oh my God, my body is so my mobility is so bad. And that was a time when I was doing high intensity training, pretty tough gym work. And so coming away from that kind of like that thing that if you're stressed in life, you go to the gym and you smash yourself hard in the gym, and you've come out of it and you feel like, you're right on the edge of survival. Actually, I loved it. I used to love high intensity training. But what I didn't realize, and this is actually an important message which I forgot to mention, is that when you're in this constant stress state, your body is like that. Your body is heated up. And actually, arguably, the last thing you want to do is be heating your body up even more and stressing it out to that limit even more. Moderate exercise combined with yoga is the way to crack chronic stress and anxiety. And then once you have unlocked your body from the toxins, the trauma toxins, whatever it is we've got going on in our body, you can then start building back that journey of stronger, more high intense training. I'm such a believer of that, because I was a big fan of high intensity training, and I learned a hard lesson, because it contributed to that point of breakdown, actually. So be careful about working your body too hard, but through gentle movement in yoga, we have it. We can really easily start to become more mobile, become more flexible, break down all those toxins, learn how to breathe, and become that better version of yourself. And only when we become that better version of ourselves can we really give ourselves. And one more message, because I know I've only got three more minutes, is.
And there is, sorry, Paulie, I think Natasha would like to ask a question.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, Natasha, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, okay, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But it's not a question. I just want to say thanks, Paul, for sharing your story, for sharing your path. And I know what you're talking about. So, and I'm going totally conform with you. So yeah, once again, thanks for sharing this, and yeah, have a lovely life.
So much. That means so much to me. Thank you. I know I've only got like a minute and a half, so I just want to end on one message, which is that the biggest kind of excuse I hear from people who just not looking after themselves is, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy at work, I'm too busy taking the kids to school, I'm too busy seeing my family, or whatever it is. Now, think of yourself as that small child. Think of yourself as a small child. If you have a child, what do? you do everything for that child. You, if they're ill, you look after them, you stop work, you stop seeing people, you nurture that child back to health. Think of yourself as that child, because when you start realizing that you are that child, look after yourself. And when you look after yourself, you will become that better version of yourself. You'll be able to be stronger and better, giving to work, giving to your partner, giving to your family and friends. And so really try and create that complete 360 on mindset around I'm too busy. Think of yourself as that small child and go out there and work on yourself, look after yourself, and do it through breath, do it through yoga, meditation, pranayama, diet, everything. So thank you. Spot on. 1 hour.
Thank you,
Namaste,
Paul.
everybody.
Thank you, Polly, so much. It was really touching, and your sharing and experiences, your knowledge. Thank you for being authentic and for the practices. I also learned something which I will have in my practices too. I will just work on with the primary, with the out breath. That's something new.
Yes, brilliant.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
So anybody that wants to connect with me, mindfullypoorly.com. So just get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Polly. And now for those of us who are joined, we are going to have Swami Jyotirmaya with meditation. So relax, stay back, and get ready for a wonderful guided meditation. Namaste.
Okay, welcome back, everybody, to this amazing session now with a beautiful, amazing person. A very wise man once said, meditation is moving from sound to silence, from movement to stillness, and activity to rest. And who better to guide us into the experience of meditation than the amazing Swami Jyotirmaya, dedicated, amazing soul, born and raised in India, now currently traveling the world, spreading his message of love, joy, and peace across the globe to millions of people. Welcome, Swamiji.
Thank you, Dr. Tahir. So, straight away we'll go to meditation. Meditation is not doing something. Meditation is doing nothing. Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Ji says there are 3 golden rules for meditation. The first rule is next few minutes, want nothing. I don't want anything next few minutes. And the second, doing nothing. The third one is, I am nobody. If you think you are somebody, then meditation won't happen. So keep all your labels you put, I am this, I am that, keep it aside and just go deep into your self. So you can sit very, very comfortably with a beautiful smile and gently close our eyes. Relax your shoulders. And relax your arms. And take a long, deep inhalation. The very first act we all did it in our life. And breathe out the last act we do in our life. Our life is in between these 2 breaths. And place your entire body weight on the chair or floor you are sitting on. drop your body weight. And with a smile, another long deep breath in. And with a bigger smile, breathe out. And keep your body still, immobile for a little while. Become aware of your surroundings, the place, the room where you are sitting now. And listen to the noises around you. People talk, traffic noise, birds chirp. Good sound, disturbing noises. Be with it, accept it. Breathe in again and let go. And become aware of your body. This body is a very precious, beautiful gift from Mother Earth or God. Love your body very dearly. Relax your right leg, right foot, right knee. And relax your right thigh muscles. Left leg. Left foot. Left knee, left thigh. Breathe in. Breathe out. Abdomen, stomach. Relax your stomach muscles. Little more attention to your navel, stomach. Breathe in and relax your stomach muscles. Chest, right arm, elbow, palm, fingers, left arm, shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Throat, lips, eyebrows, eyes, forehead, top of the head. Breathe in and breathe out and relax your whole body. Once your body relaxes, your awareness expands, your mind expands. And observe the breath in the nostrils, incoming, outgoing breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Without breath, there is no life. Everything ends. Honor and respect your breath. Little more attention to your nostrils. Breath is moving in and out all these years. And thoughts do come. Sometimes positive thoughts and sometimes negative thoughts. Do not try to resist any thoughts. Let them come and go. And observe the feelings, your own state of mind. Happy, unhappy, or a neutral feelings. Breathe in again and let go. Let go all your efforts and rest. Next few minutes doing nothing. Repose in the self. No instructions. And listen to the silence in your heart, in your mind. You are peace. You are joy. Relax more and more. Om Akashat Patidam Toyam Yada Gacchati Sakaram Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Keshavam Pradigacchati Shantireva Shanti Shantireva Shanti Shantireva Shanti. Once the body and mind relaxes, healing do happen. Yoga samasta sukhino vantu. Yoga samasta sukhino vantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Become aware of your feelings, thoughts, if there are any. Listen to the sounds once again. Become aware of your body and surroundings very slowly and gradually. Take another breath in and breathe out. And slowly you may open your eyes. Over to you, Tahir.
So beautiful, Swamiji. Don't even feel like speaking now. One question to you, Swamiji. I've seen you so many times, so many years, traveling so much, speaking to so many people, so many projects, so many workshops, courses. You do so much across the world. And I've never seen you without a smile on your face, without that. How do you manage giving so much to so many people, doing so much, but still managing to keep the smile, to keep that balance for people and also yourself?
Dr. Tahir is a good question. I'm the disciple. I'm a devotee of Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Ji. He is the joy of Guru of joy. So I'm just following. He's my role model. If you have a wisdom, if you have somebody to take care of you for everything, that very moment, the fear and the small minds disappear. Then you feel that everybody is part of you. I'm here for you. I can really say from my heart, I'm here for you. Without expecting anything from anyone. I'm here to serve. That's what my Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Ji has been doing for more than 4 decades. That's how millions of people got benefited. They transformed their life through breathing technique, Sudarshan Kriya, and various other service projects of Art of Living. So I'm so grateful for this wonderful organization which contributing a lot to the humanity, especially this particular time of the world, like pandemic. Just before joining here, Tahir, I just watched a short video, like less than a minute video from the UK. You might watch, I forgot her name. One lady, she said, because of Art of Living, I'm alive now. 5 years ago, she did the Sudarshan Kriya, the breathing technique. That's helped me because she got corona and she was in the ventilator. Because of the Sudarshan Kriya, the power, she able to come back. And so this is not only just practicing, it's a very, very refined form of spiritual practice. That's what I would say, the meditation and the Sudarshan Kriya. Yes, over to you.
So beautifully mentioned. Looking forward to being with you again very soon. Now we'll break for lunch and we'll come back in an hour's time with another amazing person, Swami Jataveda. Lots more sessions, lots more knowledge, lots more activities. Yoga for mental health. See you all soon.